Okay, so I wanted to do a quick little video on a third loop stitch. So there's a few rows in the malrotation blanket that calls for working into the third loop of a stitch. So here's a quick little sample. I just have some half double crochets here in a solid kind of granny square. So what you do to work in the third loop is normally when you're working in a square going around one direction without turning, this is what it'll look like when you are ready to start a row. So instead of going here into a stitch like you normally would, let's work a half double crochet. Instead of going there through both loops like you normally would, you're going to turn the work a little bit so you can see the back. Now remember, here is where you normally would go, but directly under that, on the back side, you see a loop right here. That is your third loop. So instead of working through the top, you're going to work through this back loop. Half double crochet. Let's do that again. Here's your normal stitch on the front. Turn it to the back. There's your third stitch. Okay, so again, what I do is I do my yarn over and I kind of push the fabric over. So I'm looking at the back. You're going to go right here in the third loop. Again, here's some regular in the regular loops there. And then again in the third loop. So here's your normal stitches that you would normally work through. Tip it back, and the third loop is right running parallel underneath your regular stitch. And also, in most of my patterns where you work this way, when you get to the corner, see this last stitch right here? Some people work into, I don't. So in my patterns, when you turn your work, you see this is technically a third loop right here. We're not going to work into that. In the pattern, it'll say, skip that last third loop. It's kind of easy to miss. I don't use it. So this would be considered the end, and you just work your normal corner. And now you're back. I don't work into this. My first stitch is right under this stitch, third loop. Third loop. Third loop. There you go. So there's your little tutorial. See, it makes kind of a little bit of a ridge, almost like a back post, but not quite.